Okay, so we can create our servlet by using three ways. So first way is deprecated, that is Apache Felix. Now it's deprecated this dependency. Later that we have two dependencies, that is declarative OSGI declarative 1.2, and after that we have a OSGI declarative service 1.4. That means here inside 1.4 they have introduced the concept of annotations. Okay, and by using that annotation we can easily register our servlets. Like here we have a two ways to register a servlet, by using the path and by using resource type. Okay, here we have two ways, but when we are using here in when we are using this declarative service 1.2, that time we have to define all our servlet and all our if you want to register the servlet by using path and the resource, so for that we have to define inside our component. That means inside our service we have to define it, but in our 1.4 we don't need to be worried, we don't need to be defined inside this component. For that they have introduces the annotation. By using that annotation we can easily register. So if you want to register by using a resource type, then you can simply use sling servlet resource type. Here we have annotation sling servlet resource type. If you want by using path, then you can simply use @sling servlet path. Don't forget to write yes, we have to write s at the last. Okay, so just try to create it, come in our code and just try to create it. So first of all we have to convert this is our normal class. I'm just closing this. Okay, so this one is our normal class and we have to convert this normal class into an servlet. So how we can do it? So we have two ways, by using sling all method servlet class, otherwise you can use sling sep method servlet. So I'm using sling sep methods servlet. Why? Because of I'm using only one method, that is get. Just import it. Okay, so I have imported. After that here we have to write protected void do get method. So this sling sep we are using only for the read operations, and read that means do get, so that's why I'm using it. And it accept two parameter do get method, that is sling http servlet request, sling http servlet request. I'm creating the object of request, sling http servlet response. These both are the interfaces, the sling http servlet request and sling http servlet response. So this what does it mean by the servlet? Servlet is just simple taking the request from the client. Consider this one is your client and this one is your server. So it's taking a request from your client, process the response and return back the result to your client. Okay, but who is mainly responsible to do that thing? So that means here we have two interfaces, sling http servlet request and sling http servlet response. They two are responsible for taking the request and generating a response and return back to the client. By using this parameter we send the request and the response. Okay, so this is the thing. After that now I want to register our servlet. So how we can register? So we knows that by using two ways. Before that we knows this servlet is present inside your OSGI service. So for that we have to define this servlet as a service. So just come up and here we have to define @component. But we knows that this sling sep method servlet is just simple a servlet, it doesn't have any life cycle. So for overriding or for taking the life cycle of the servlet, that all the life cycle is present in your servlet interface, so we have to load that one. So by using service attribute you can simply load it, property we can easily load it. So here we have to define servlet dot class. So I have defined, just simply import it. I have imported. Now this is the thing that I have defined. We already knows that our servlet is a part of the OSGI service, so that's why I have defined this component. I have defined the service property. Why? Because of I just want to load the life cycle of the servlet, and that life cycle is present inside your servlet interface. After that, this is the servlet. I have converted this is normal class. I have converted this normal class into one servlet by using this sling sep method servlet, and it has one method, that is do get. Yeah, but now I want to register this servlet by using some ways. So how we can do that thing? So now consider I want to register by using a Sling servlet resource type. So for that they have introduced the concept of Sling annotations. You can simply use it, Sling servlet resource types. Yeah, and here we have some this is the annotation, we have to import it. And now what we are doing, we gonna register our servlet by using Sling servlet resource type. Okay, so here we have to write one property, that is Sling types, resource types, double quotes, and here we have to type it, resource type. So now which resource type I want, just come here and consider now I want this EN. Here we have a resource type, and by using this resource type I am registering our servlet. That means if some pages, so this resource type is related to a page, here you see. So if this resource type is used somewhere for creating the page and you are sending the same request, then you will hit your servlet, otherwise you won't. So just come here and just paste this code. I have pasted. Okay, after that, once you have defined this, you have to define the selector as well as the extension. So for that we have selectors properties. You can just simply define selectors. After that, if you want to define the extension, then you can simply define the extensions as well. Here I have defined, but consider now you want more than one resource type. So is it possible to define more than one? Yes, it is possible. So you just simply do one thing. Here we have to define the array. After the array, just give the comma, and here in double quotes you have to return some another one. So this is the weekend, this is the weekend page, and we know that all our information is stored inside our JCR content. So just come here and check the resource type. Yeah, this one is our resource type. So just copy this one is a different. So when somebody send the request by using this weekend, then he will get the response. Why? Because of this is the resource type we already registered for our servlet. After that, here we have a EN and this JCR content, so we can easily get the response. Why? Because of this this is the resource type that we have defined in our servlet. Yeah, we have bind our servlet by using these two resource types, so we can get the result. After that, here I am defining the selector. So is it possible to define more than one selector? Yes, is it. So for that we have to define array. Here I am using like add sub, and you can use search, whatever it is. Okay, so selector we define more than one. So for that I am using txt. Here you can use JSON, you can use XML as well, is up to you. Okay, so this is the servlet that I have defined, that I have registered by using a Sling servlet resource type. And here I am using some logic now. Okay, so just do one thing, like okay, so I'll create a JSON. So what's our requirement is, see, we'll do one thing, like I have created already pages. Here you see all the pages that I have already created inside the card. Here you see we have a lot of pages, and from these pages I want the title of this page and path where these pages is stored. I want the path and the title. So how we can get it? And I want the result when somebody send the request, like localhost 4502, whatever it is. After that some code is there. Yeah, after that some txt extension or some JSON or some XML will be there. Okay, so when somebody send the request, what I want the answer like this. First I want this array, that is JSON array. This is a JSON array. After that I need this represent the object of JSON. This curly braces represent the object of JSON, and this represent the object of array, JSON array. This is JSON array and this is a JSON object. Okay, so here what I want title, and here I want the title name. So whatever the title is here inside our page 1, this is the title, page 2, page 3, page 4, these are nothing but our title. So this title I want, after that path, so where this page 1, page 2, or this all the thing is stored, this store inside your weekend, US and EN. Yeah, inside your card, this page 1 is stored. So I want the title of this I want the path of this page. Okay, so here that path must be come dynamically, so for that we have to write some logic, and here the curly braces. This is only for the one page, this is for the page 1. The same thing here, how many pages is there? So we have 4 pages. So for 4 pages I want to create this object, JSON object for the 4 pages. Okay, so we need these types of logic. So come here, okay. Now what we have to do first, we have to take the request. Okay, yeah, we'll do one thing. First of all, we have to take the resource resolver. What does it mean by the resource resolver? See, so these are nothing but your pages, okay, and this pages is stored in your CRXD content. So here these are nothing but your folders with your pages, and where this pages is stored inside this EN have a card something. Oh shit. Yeah, here we have a cards, and inside this card we have these pages. Okay, so we are just fetching these pages in our CRXD, or we are this fetching these pages from here and to this servlet. If that means if somebody send the request, that time what we need a response like that. So for that we need some connectivity, some configuration we need. So who provide this connectivity and the configuration? So we have one option, that is resource resolver. We have one interface, that is resource resolver, who is responsible to provide all the configurations and connectivity. Okay, that means you are keeping this data, you are fetching this data, so that data must be stored somewhere, and when the data is coming, at that time we need some configuration for this data. Yeah, so then the data will render in your output. So for that we need a resource resolver. So how we can take this resource resolver? Why? Because of it's an interface, we are not able to create the object of the interface. So for that we have to call some method, and by using this method we can easily get this resource resolver. So here we have one method, that we have one interface, that is a Sling HTTP servlet request, and we have created one reference for the request, and inside that we have the one method, that is get resource resolver. So request dot get resource resolver, get resource, and at the last we have a resolver. Hit enter. Yeah, we got it. And this method is responsible to return the object of the resource resolver. So just create it. Here we got the resource resolver. When we get the resource resolver, later that what we need from this resource resolver, now we got all the configuration from your CRXD. That means you can go anywhere by using this object. So now I wonder to whom I am performing the operation on page. Is it no? So what I need a page manager. What does it mean by the page manager? See, so if you want to perform the CRUD operation on your page, like if you want to create, read, or if you want to update, or if you want to delete your pages, then we need one page, we need one interface, that is page manager. Okay, we have one page, we have one interface, that is page manager, and page manager is responsible to perform CRUD operation on your page. So we need these pages, so we have to retrieve, we have to fetch these pages. So how we can fetch? By using a page manager. Okay, so but it is an interface, so we are not able to create the object of this interface. So for that here we have this resource resolver, and by using this resource resolver we have one method, that is adapt to, and this method is responsible for converting the resource to an object. What does it mean by the resource? That means now just tell me where your all the connectivity and configuration is stored inside our resource resolver. Yeah, so that means all our configuration and connectivity is stored inside our resource resolver. That means this all the pages now is under your RR, and from these pages I want the page manager. For these pages what I want a page manager. So by using this RR, that is nothing but the resource, I am converting into an object of the page manager. Okay, so this is the thing that I have converted. In simple word, if I will try to tell you, this is the interface. So simply from interface to object I am converting, and here this method, this is the adapt to method, and adapt to method will return the page manager object. So we have to accept it, page manager, and here page manager, I am creating the object of the page manager. Done. Now we got the page manager, but we knows that now what I want the pages. So how we can get it? So you can just simply use, we knows that this page manager, we use page manager for retrieving the pages, creating, deleting or updating the pages. So now I want a page, so just simply use get page. I got the page. Okay, so you can just simply come here. Here we have a lot of pages, so I want card, so you can simply click in this card, and here we have a path, you can copy it, come here and simply paste it. Otherwise you can do one thing, you can take the data from the user as well. That means if you want to take the data from here, that means if you want to take the data from the or path from the user, then you can give him some option, no, like here user enter root path, and here user enter some data, like some of the path user will enter, and according to that we will give the answer. See, like this is the path here, that means user enter this path, and where is that stored? Inside your root page. Yeah, and according to that, whatever the page is that is stored inside your card, we will give the title and path of these pages. But how we can achieve this? All this code where is stored, all this path in your root page. So how we can access this root page in our CRXD, in our Eclipse? So for that we already knows we have a request. This part is nothing but the request. This part is nothing but your request, and if you want anything from your request, so we have one method, that is get parameter. We have one get parameter, and from that you can simply which variable you want root path, then you can simply use here root. I am just using path, page path. Here I am using page path, and it will return the string, so we have to accept as a string page path. Maybe sometime user will not enter anything, so for that maybe it will throw null pointer exception. Yeah, so we have to take care of this. So you can simply use the if, like if this page path is equals to null, then inside this page path you can store this value. Which value? Here where it is, here we have this card, we can simply copy this, copy from here, come, and just simply in double quotes we have to paste it. So I am using this, that means if user will not enter anything, that time by default this value will store inside your page path. Yeah, so we got this. Now we don't need to paste these things, this path. Instead of that, we know that all the content where it is present, all the path, it's present inside your page path. So you can simply use this variable name, that is page path. Okay, yeah. So from the page manager, what we are doing, we are getting the pages, and from these pages, now it will return the page. Okay, this get page is responsible to return the pages, whatever that is stored inside your path, and that path is nothing but this. Okay, so it will return the page. So just right here we have options of the page. We got the page, and we knows that here how many pages we have. We have a more than one pages. Yeah, so we have more than one pages, so we have to list the children of these pages. So how we can do that thing? So page dot list children option is there. See that list children, what it's doing, it's returning all the childrens and it's storing in your iterator. So here you see now, if I'm doing this, here you see, so this is nothing but your iterator of page, and it's returning, that means this list children is returning more than one pages, and it's storing individual page in this variable. Okay, so I'm just using child pages here, maybe it has more than one. After that you can just simply do one thing, iterate the pages. Like here we have more than one pages, you can simply iterate. So how we can do that things, you can simply use while loop, and first of all we'll check it has pages or not. If it has, then it will return true, it will go inside this, otherwise it won't go. So for that we have to use one method, that is hasNext method is there. You can simply use these methods, and now if it has a pages, then it will return true. But here we have more than one pages, yeah, we have more than one pages, and what we expecting, we need, first of all we need one page, that is page 1, and from that page I want title and I want path. So we have to retrieve first page first. Okay, what we need to take first page. So how we can do that thing, so from this list pages, one method is there, that is next, and it will return only one page, first page of your children. Here we have more than one pages, but from this page it will return only one page by using this next. So what it will return, so this method return the object of the page, so we have to accept. Yeah, so this is the next that it has written, this is the first page, and from this page you can simply get the title, yeah, from this page. And what you want path, so you can simply take the path as well. So get path is there, yeah, we got it, yeah, we got the title and we got the path. But where I want this title, here we have options of the title and here we have options of the path, but where I want this title and path inside your JSON object. So for that we have to create the object for the JSON. So you can create JSON, create object builder, yeah. So this object builder is responsible, this object builder method is responsible for creating the JSON object. Okay, so here it will return the JSON object builder. You can JSON object builder. Okay, this is the object we got it. Now we can simply add this title and the path inside your JSON object. So you can simply add what you want. So right now you want title, so you can use title, and this is the code, just copy from here and simply paste it. Now we got the title. The same process, job.add, and here we need the path, so you can simply use the path. You come here and next dot get path. Okay, remove this now. Okay, once we did these things, here you come and here you see all the object where it's storing, all the object is storing inside your array, and it will iterate. Why? Because of we have uses the while loop. That means all the time it will check one by one, it will check all the pages one by one, and if this pages is true, so all the pages will store, yeah, one by one page it will store inside this next variable, and from this next we are getting the title and the path. But we got the answer. After that we have to add this job inside the array. So for that we have to create the array. How we can create? So just we have a JSON object, JSON class, and here we have one method, that is create array builder. We have to create the array builder. You hit enter, and here you can simply use create JSON array builder. So I have created the object of the array. Now come here and simply add like a job dot add, and here we have to add the job. That means what I did, I have added, we have to create this outside of the class. That is also okay. So we'll do one thing, no, we can simply use this inside. Control Z, we can define inside, and after that let it be about this inside here only, because I'm not using anywhere. Okay. We have to create before this. Now that error is gone. Okay, so this is the thing we have created. After that, at the last, we have to print this response in our, whenever somebody is requested, when somebody will request, so that time that request is correct, we have to answer it, we have to send the response. So for that we have to use response dot get writer is there. So this get writer give you the permission to write something on the page of the response page, and here we have a write method. Whatever in your mind, you can simply write inside here. So all the date, all the code, all the content that is present inside our array object, JSON array object, so you can use that one. And here we need to build, and all the data we need to pass in the form of toString. So here I am converting this JSON to toString. Okay, now it will it's saying it's throwing one exception, that is IO exception. If that page is not there, then it will throw the IO exception. So we have to handle it. Come here, it's a method level, throws IO exception. Just Control Shift O, print it. Yeah, it's done now. Okay, so we have to deploy and check it that all the content is whatever we have changes, or whatever we have done, so it's getting output or not. So we have to check it. So for that we have to deploy. So I have deploy, and how I can send the request by using this. So first of all, this is our resource type. Is that resource type? Now just consider I'm sending a request like this. I'm sending a request like this. Okay, and if this EN pages uses this resource type, which one? That weekend components and the page. Here this is the resource type property is there, and if this page is using this weekend component and the page, then you will get the response. Consider here we have the same weekend component page, but if you are sending a request by using this Canada, and here this Canada page using the URL resource type, that is vretail component structure and the page, then we won't get the answer. Why? Because of we have registered our servlet by using these two resource type. So whenever you are sending a request, always keep in mind we have to use this. So wherever that pages you are sending a response through this some pages, so that pages must be used this resource type. Okay, so it will take some time for deploy. So till now I'm just stopping the recording. Okay, so it has installed successfully, it has deployed successfully. So we have to go and send the request. So just come here. Now I'm just going in my search, not search, in weekend, which I have uses there. Okay, so I'm sending the request by using this path. So just copy, come here, localhost we have to define, and later that we have uses selector and the okay, so here I have added the selectors and the extensions. So whenever we are defining this selector and the extension, we have to use anyhow. So I'm just going here, just come and just type localhost 4502 slash, and which code we want. This is the code that we have, so you can just simply copy this one. We are sending a request by using this and paste here. We have to remove the slash. So here it will, when I hit enter, it will return the forbidden error. Why? Because of we have defined the selectors here. We have defined the selector and the extension. So whenever we are defined, we have to use it. So now I'm using add, and after that here we have a extension, that is txt. and here we are getting the result. Okay, this is by using a sling resource super type, a sling resource type. But if you want to register the servlet by using a resource type, by using a servlet path, then how we can do it? So for that they have introduced one annotation, that is sling servlet paths, and here we have one attribute, that is value. We have to use this one. Here I am defining anything like bean demo and the recent, this is the code, and after that I am just deploying. So just try, if I deploy it, I am just deploying now, it will take maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so consider I have deployed. So that time we have to send the request like this. So we have to copy this, come here and just simply type localhost 4502 localhost 4502 and paste the code. Now you will not get anything. Why? Because we haven't deployed, so we have to wait until it's not deployed. Okay, but Adobe recommended us to use this resource type, not this servlet py. Why? Because of, here you see, this is the code, this is the logic that we have written. Okay, and this logic we can easily access by using this path. But if anyone knows, we only create the application only for the user. If one day user will definitely know about this, so if user knows this, he can easily access our code, and here that's why it's not provide any security. So here and in this sling servlet resource type, we can easily add the permissions as well. If you want this permission or you want some folder permission, then you can simply add it, and you can perform the permission on your nodes as well. You can perform the security on your nodes as well. So for that this sling servlet resource type is best as compared to this sling servlet paths. So just use this one, and here we can define more than one selector, but here we don't have any options for the selector and the extension. So whenever here we don't we can only use only one options here, more than one we don't have anything. If I try to see here, we don't have any option. Okay, so only value property is there, but in our resource type, if you want to define selector and the extension, then you can easily define it. You can define one or more than one. Okay, so it has deployed. Just come there, here, and just again hit enter. Now you are getting the data. See, this is the result that you are getting. Why? Because of here you have because of you have registered your servlet by using the path, and you can directly going and trying to access it. Okay, so thank you guys.